Literally back like we never left. Of course, it looks like they just let Chase run and whatever he wanted to do back here. I'll go to the mall real quick. Grab some kicks for tomorrow. For my oldest girl. For baby girl's sneaker ball. Grab me some food. Guys, and we're gonna get into it right where we left off. It's like I drove to two. Don't mind Chase.
Shut. Uploading info to the Spidey server.
Got it.
I'll keep an eye out for more. Send me the data when you find them. I'll try to track down who made it.
Hey, long night?
Hey, MJ. Harry and I stayed up doing tests on Suit. And we may have had too much pizza. It was really nice.
Just like the good old days. So I gotta know, what's Harry's radioactive spider?
I've never seen anything like this before. It's some kind of exosuit that completely eradicates any trace of his disease. Dr. Connors really outdid himself this time.
That's incredible. And great timing, considering what happened at the park.
Any leads on where they might have taken Tombstone?
Not yet. But if I hear anything, you're my first call.
Oh, you're the best.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, what's next?
I got the time right here.
That should work for Robbie.
Got a good photo, Spider-Man? Send it to the newspaper.
The Spider-Man aren't the only superheroes in here. Getting students to class on time? One of the greatest powers I've ever seen.
If the reports coming in from Brooklyn are to be believed, these Spider-Men have grown more powerful than we feared. Magically, subway cars disappearing off the tracks, fire engines flying through the night sky, and the newer Spider-Man at the center. Where the propaganda weren't enough, now we add mystical arts into the mix. Does their desire for destruction know no bounds? I almost feel sorry for this lost soul, groomed for a life of criminality and degradation. It seems Spider-Man was co-working with notoriously the Black Cat. Their costumes must be cut from the same rough cloth. If their entanglement doesn't make clear enough picture of Spider-Man's intent, then here's a little story. The Spider-Men show up, and the group we now know as the Hunter's Foe. Clear now? These Spider-Men are...
cracking my fight or am I cracking yours? Thanks. We should take this on the road sometime. Sounds like a good excuse to finally build that Spider-Mobile.
Hey, Spiders. Got something for you. Head to this location.
Felicia?
Hey, Felicia.
Heard some chatter about the steel foundry in Williamsburg on the radio I fled Sydney's hunters. Sounds like Tombstone there. Could use your help.
Thanks. Glad you're calling you right back. Looking to kind of let you down today. Yeah, fellas? That looks expensive, sorry. Next time, do your ambushes in the street, like normal criminals. Felicia, about that tip on Tombstone. Thanks. Glad you're all right.
Did you make it here some time?
Yeah, I did. Figured I owed you one. Both of you. Even if the other Spider-Man couldn't be bothered to make an appearance.
Yeah.
You can save the explanation. We both moved on. He's a good one, by the way.
It really is. Well, thanks for the tip. Not sure I'd be able to find Tombstone in time without you.
Yeah, thanks. Take care of yourself.
Those fashion school rejects won't be getting the drop on me again. Ta-ta, spiders.
Miles, let me take this one. You're gonna miss your essay deadline.
What if
Lee's there, I'll take care of it. Spider-Man can wait. Miles can't.
All right. Just keep in touch.
Hopefully Felicia's lead was right. Gotta get to Tombstone before Craven crosses him off his list too.
latest news from first responders. Many injuries, but no fatalities. Small blessing. But we have got a lot of unknowns. Who perpetrated the attack? Who was the man who helped Spider-Man? I gotta be honest, folks, this is giving me not good flashbacks to the underground and Roxxon brawls of last year. Here's hoping that with two Spider-Man in town, we can steer away from more citywide chaos. Anyone who tells you these things happen for a reason should be cursed with wet socks. Forever.
Good. Say what you will about social media, and I can say a lot. It's helped so many businesses stay afloat here when they would have gone under a long time ago.
What's taking them so long?
Extra precautions. Tombstone has proven challenging.
Right. Stay ready.
Hunt to live.
Live to hunt.
We need to clear these rooftops and find a way in. It's lousy hunters. It's all for me, I'm honored.
Hey, finally finished with my dad. Still no clue where Dr. Connors is. I haven't seen Dad look this stressed in a while.
We'll find Connors. Why don't you call MJ and ask her to go swing by his house?
Yeah, good idea.
I'll meet you back at the foundation once I'm done here.
What are you up to? Need a hand?
In Williamsburg, at the old steel foundry. Sounds like they're holding Tombstone here.
Sounds like a job for the Spider Pals.
That is not what we're calling ourselves.
Well, what do you and the other guy go by?
I don't know. Spider-Mans?
That's confusing.
I should go. This place is crawling with hunters.
So you do need help?
No, do not come here. These people are deadly. We can't risk you getting hurt. Talk soon. Keep no one gets off guard. Clear exit. Gotta get rid of all the hunters before I go inside.
Nap time.
You, go investigate.
I'll see
See what I can find.
Roger that. I've got it. I'm not here. I'm on you.
Ready, night.
More side.
This smokestack looks like my ticket in.
Just got off the phone with MJ. She said she'll head over to Connors soon.
Great news.
Yeah. Just making sure. You said the steel found you, right?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Cardio.
Get back to your workout. I have to find Tombstone quick before he ends up like a scorpion.
Tighten security around Tombstone.
Reinforcements. Better play this quietly.
During my last time with Craven, we tracked our prey for 2 weeks, learning every nuance of their behavior. Long time to stalk. Maybe. They never even saw Craven coming. By the time they knew he was there, his blade was buried deep in their gut. Craven watched the light leave their eyes, inhaled their final breath. Something that's where he gets his strength. No one knows.
You will regret this game.
Go!
like it's somebody else here somewhere. Where that girl go? Cause she the problem. Somewhere she ain't got no business. Knew it.
Stay down. Please. We'll sleep it off.
There's no key. Intruder alert! Someone look into it.
Copy that. Heading to the left.
Sweet dreams.
We got a hunter down over here.
I think that's the last of them.
You guys just can't make it easy. Harry? What are you doing here? Helping you out, Spider-Man. You're welcome, by the way. I was hoping this was quiet. Is this result? Go left, I go right.
Okay.
I know you said you had this. Look at us. Honestly, kind of hope to start you off with something easier. What better way to learn than on-the-job training? Never felt so strong. Don't let it get in your head. We're not invincible. Not all twisted bad guys. They have to make some hard choices too. Here I come.
So this is how we go get the villain tribute.
I know you said you had this, but come on, look at us. Honestly, not a hope to put you off with something easier. What better way to learn than on-the-job training? Never felt so strong. Don't let it get to your head. They're not invincible. You're like this all the time? Not all punching bad guys. I have to make some hard choices too. That's the game.
Watch out for where? Unfortunately, I can't let that up. We need to find another way to shut it down. Watch out! They're on the platform too. I got them. Stay out of the line of fire and thin out these hunters. You think the sim is bulletproof? Now, not the time to find out. What's the plan then? I'm working on it. Get to that back balcony. Flames are right through my web! No way I can wet that flamethrower! Turn off! Harry, I've got an idea of how to take that thing down. I'm all ears. Up there, the back. I'll distract him. Get up there. Rescue a supervillain. Reformed supervillain. But still a guy who's trying to kill you. He's trying to change. I want to help him. Man, you really do believe in the past of everything. Alright, let's... Come on! Gotta hit them before they hit us! Here we go again. Love your enthusiasm, but I like to work smarter, not harder. What's the matter? We got this. We do until we don't. Understood. I won't lay you down. You okay with all this fire? Yeah, actually. Not even breaking a sweat. Don't worry. It always does! Here, boy! I got something for you!
get my job back. Watch out! I'm stuck! Harry! You with me? My head! We need to move now! Maybe if we don't move, it won't see us. Well, that was wishful thinking. They're here! What's that thing with your suit? I don't know. That alarm really messed with my head. I'm glad you're all right. Arrows, machines, rockets, now robot curves. Don't forget the robot dogs. Stay calm! Take him out one at a time! One at a time! You got it, Keith! This is getting intense! Where is this guy already? Something tells me we're close. Any other takers? This is good as this!
Starting to feel out of my depth here. Sure we can do this? Of course. We're the spider pals. All right. Yeah. Oh, there's our guy. What's the play? I think we should get him. I'll run a distraction. See if you can break him free. On it. Go up so fast. We gotta break you out of here, okay?
You can't. They rigged this whole thing.
Then I'll de-rig it.
just tell me.
Sorry. My first day.
Gonna need a hand here.
Be right
back. Is it getting bigger? One more time into the fire. You're making jumps at a time like that. Part of the job. Hey, you owe me one.
Let's see your face now.
Where do they keep coming from? Some sort of booking agency? Have to turn off this furnace. There! If we can overload the machine with a coolant, it should shut down. Is he gone? Just in time to shut down the furnace. All right, this should...
You trying to kill everyone here?
What's the plan? Sorry.
They don't
Quit. Neither do we. Getting hot in here. I haven't noticed. Give the fire crew. Lucky you. Don't have time for this. We can cake. There. Pull out the support. Don't be crazy. This might be one of the best days of my life. I really need to get you out more. Maybe we go through the furnace. No, it's too hot in there. Got any better ideas? Hard choices, right? What are you doing? Harry.
Now what?
Let's move! That's through here! Get out of there!
Yoga's done wonders for my mental health.
Who's trying to die here? Move it!
No! We lost him!
Don't panic! Quick, this way! Harry!
Hold up!
Can you see if we were followed? On it.
Only downside, going straight. The game keeps you in shape.
Glad we
Glad we got
to
to
it
in time.
Some of the others
weren't so lucky.
They couldn't have off me if they tried. Besides, they were waiting for their boss to do the deed.
You have
You have someplace safe to go?
Yeah. They come for me again, I'll be ready. Tell your friend thanks for looking out for me. See you around, Spider.
Spider-Man.
Looks like
Looks like they split.
We should
We
too.
should too. Yeah. Hey, good job back there.
Really? I was pretty sure I was just messing everything up.
You were.
But in the best possible way. What are you? Come on. Sorry. Still figuring out how this thing works. Nice design. What do you mean? Didn't you just... Huh? I guess I did. Would you look at that? I guess we really are spider pals now. I think I'm gonna head back to the lab. See if Dr. Connors has showed up yet. Good call. I'll catch up with you soon. Incredible. This better not be because you saw a millipede again. Better check your papers first. Hey, Miles. Hello, man. Been a minute. You need any spider help? Actually, we're good. We managed to rescue Tombstone before Craven could get his hands on him. We? Oh, long story short, my buddy Harry, he has some sort of powers. Kicked all kinds of butt with. He's gonna be a big help with these hunters, that's for sure. Wait. Is he one of us now? Sort of? It's all happening fast, but we'll talk later. Gotta run. Talk later. He says that a lot. Okay. Better see what's going on. Come on. So cool.
God help me, my life is in the hands of programmers. Have you heard the one about the criminal who went to prison and came out a better person? Me either. But that's what Quentin Beck has believed. After his numerous crime sprees, who could forget when he made Spider-Man look like a moron, chasing an imaginary flying bus of school children, while he made off with $2 million in diamonds. He finally landed himself where he belonged. Behind bars. Now he's out and wants us to accept him back into society as a fully rehabilitated individual. Let me tell you something. I know one thing to be 100% certain. People do not change. Once a criminal, always a criminal. I don't know if this was a clerical error in our judicial system, but there is no way this man has paid his dues and repented for the damage he's caused. Do not trust this con artist. Attendance is a turpentine after all.
It manifested once every 1,000 years. When it first showed up, it was considered a berserk transformation of sorts. When that appeared in these things, legend and folklore, especially due to how prone to destruction its user was, the legendary Super Saiyan relates to a different evolution of the Super Saiyan transformation, far apart from the graded forms as well as from the levels 2 and 3. However, with the arrival of Dragon Ball Super Saga, the legendary Super Saiyan transformation was rearranged and no longer the same. Broly, now a canon character, wasn't its user anymore, since his Super Saiyan transformation was now identified as full power Super Saiyan. Even Kale, someone easily distinguishable as a female version of the legendary Super Saiyan idea, was understood as simply having a sort of berserk Super Saiyan state, as well as later on a Super Saiyan 2 form. Sadly, nowadays the legendary Super Saiyan is more of an ancient notion rather than an actual DB transformation. What is the legendary Super Saiyan? The legendary Super Saiyan is an original DBZ transformation that was introduced through the old school Broly. Supposedly, it was so rare that it manifested.
Oh, hey, welcome to RNA.
Good, we're in the right place. We have a little bit of a situation we wanted to run by you.
Mobius! Wow! Great to see you again!
Good to see you too. Yeah, Loki, I want to introduce you to.
I'm Ouroboros. Nice to meet you, Loki.
Ouroboros. Ouroboros.
But he calls me Obi.
Yeah, I call him Obi. That's like a nickname I have, yeah.
Wow! How long has it been?
How long has it been? Could it be 3 or 4?
400 years.
What? Feels like 1,000, right?
Yeah! Remember, you got off on the wrong floor and I told you it was the wrong floor?
Wait, that's right! Yes, because then I stayed for a little bit. He took me over
No,
today.
he left immediately.
Well, I'm back.
Yes, you are.
Two blue vortexes come out, and I've already done a breakdown of everything that happened in the chapter, which means now it's time to dive into theories. And there are a ton of theories that are bursting out of the seams of Chapter 3. Boruto might have a planetary level attack. He might have gone back in time to train with Itachi to learn how to use the realm of drunken dreams. Boruto might be a toad sage. Sasuke might be hanging out in Mount Muabuko, and Kashin Koji is more likely than not Boruto's new teacher. And while I would love to sit here and go over every single one of these theories in this one video, today we're gonna have to take a small bite of the big chunk. Which is why today we're gonna talk about the most important reveal to come out of Chapter 3 to Blue Vortex. And that important reveal is Boruto has toads. Let me say that again, because I don't think you're grasping how truly insane that is. Boruto has toads. The boy who, up until Chapter 80 of Boruto proper, never showed any interest in either Mount Muabuko, being the sage Senjutsu, or the toads at all. Yes, that same Boruto now has toads. Toads that he's working with to infiltrate Code's hideout. And while the idea of Boruto having a couple of toads that he talks to in premise to somebody who doesn't understand the Naruto universe doesn't sound all that crazy, the possible implications of Boruto having connections to toads of any sort are wild. Boruto being connected to the toads can really mean one of 3 things. Either Boruto trained with Kashin Koji and is currently coexisting with him as a teacher, or Boruto and Sasuke went to Mount Muabuko, which is presumably unaffected by Ida's brainwashing, and now Boruto has a working relationship with the toads very similar to that of his father's relationship with the toads. Or the third and final option is that Kashin Koji is tied to Mount Muabuko, and Boruto not only trained at Mount Muabuko, but also with Kashin Koji. Now I know what a lot of you are saying. Why isn't Kashin Koji connected to Mount Mubuko? I mean, he's a toad sage. He has toads. Well, we actually don't know that for certain. In fact, there's actually some evidence that might prove that Kashin Koji isn't connected to Mount Mubuko, which is why we have 3 individual theories. But what's even wilder than the fact that we have 3 individual theories all spreading off the fact that Boruto has a couple of toads in his jacket is the implications of what these individual theories might do to the future of Boruto's plot. Because if we believe that Boruto and Sasuke possibly made it to Mount Mubuko, that might mean that Sasuke is alive. But if we believe that Boruto got linked with Kashin Koji, it could mean that either Kashin Koji or Sasuke died in order to save the other. There's so many other possible things. There are so many possibilities to speculate about. We really need to get started. Before we get started, guys, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that button. And if you like the idea of me speculating about your favorite anime and manga, guys, go ahead and follow my other channel, the Weekly Man Report. Instead of talking about Naruto and Boruto, I talk all other anime. If you like the idea of me talking about anime in general, go ahead and follow my anime podcast, Doctors Anonymous, where me and Danny Mata break down everything happening in anime. This week is available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Or if you want to look like somebody who will talk to somebody about anime, guys, go ahead and check out my brand new anime merch store, where you can pick up some of the greatest anime sweatshirts, t-shirts, and sticker packs known to man. Before we get into all that, guys, today we gotta talk about a brand new sponsor to the page, Dungeon Hunter 6. Dungeon Hunter 6 is the latest addition to the Dungeon Hunter franchise, a long-in-storied franchise that started its releases in 2009. And we are now welcoming a new installment to this incredibly renowned series. And let me tell you, this installment is the best yet. Dungeon Hunter 6 is a free-to-play mobile APRG with a unique hero collecting system all set in a beautiful fantasy world. The gameplay features fast-paced hack-and-slash combat that allows you to customize using different builds and heroes in order to take down big bosses in any way that suits you. And this game is 100% free to play. You can download it using the link in my description or by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. But why, outside of the game being free, should you download this game today? Well, in Dungeon Hunter 6, killing the boss is not the end. See, in Dungeon Hunter, not only can you defeat a boss, but you can also loot a boss, or ride a boss, or even summon a boss, up to 3 of them, to assist you in combat later on in the story. That's right, bosses you defeat can become members of your squad. They follow you, perform perfect combos with you. You can even morph into them in the late game. And with over 100 bosses for you to defeat, your squad can look incredibly unique to you. But Dungeon Hunter's creativity doesn't end there. Dungeon Hunter gives you the ability to play the game your way by giving you the options to complete missions in objectively creative ways, like a stealth mission, which can be completed by turning into a cat. And outside of gameplay mechanics, Dungeon Hunter also allows you to have an incredibly customizable mount experience, allowing you to ride numerous different fantasy creatures or mechanisms when meeting other players. Not to mention that Dungeon Hunter 6 is the best looking Dungeon Hunter yet, with highly optimized 3D graphics that make combat smooth and gorgeous to look at. And outside of all of that, there's also guilds you can join and guild raids you can go on, a variety of skill trees that you can grind to make your character uniquely you, and an auction house in which you can trade with other players to get the equipment that you need. Download the game today on Android or iOS using the link in my description or by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. And if you do either of those things, you'll get a starting pack worth $50 with 10 summoning scrolls, 1 SSR Lieutenant, Demonic Wolf, and 1 accessory pack. You can also use your game account to enter the Lucky Spin event, which can get you prizes like an iPhone 15 Pro Max, a PS5, an Apple Watch, and this event starts on October 13th. Check my description for details. So what are you guys waiting for? It's time to make the bosses work for us. So, toads. Not really a big deal unless you're in the Naruto universe, and then they're a really big deal. Toads have played a massive part in Naruto's story ever since they were introduced to the medium of Jiraiya, who introduced gigantic toads like Gamabunta and smaller toads like Gamakichi, introduced sage areas like Mount Mubuko where the toads live and train. And then as Naruto's story progressed further and further on, we were introduced to more massive toads, and we got to learn more of the toad's history. We got to learn about the great toad sage who dreamed the future, who also trained with Hagoromo to make him the first toad sage. Toads have played an integral role in the history of humans so long as the Naruto universe has existed. However, their role felt much less integral in Boruto. See, because a large amount of Naruto's power did revolve around the toads. Prior to Naruto awakening KCM1 or KCM2, his strongest mode was his Sage mode. And through the loss of Kurama, he's once again resumed this position. Pretty much the only connection that the first 80 chapters of Boruto had to the Toads whatsoever was Naruto saying that he's become a better Toad Sage now after the loss of Kurama, saying that during his Hokageship he's taken more time to master the true art of Sagement. But that's basically it. In all the big battles in Boruto, Naruto never summoned any of the Toads. Whether it was battling against Kinshiki, Momoshiki, Ishiki, Jigen, the Toads never came into play. Pretty much the only person we ever saw use Toads in any meaningful capacity was Kashin Koji, Jiraiya's clone. And while Kashin Koji obviously has a very important battle against Jigen and Ishiki, he's definitely a side character. He has way less screen time than Jiraiya ever had. But it appears as though that there's a possibility that not only Toads, but also that side character Kashin Koji might be getting more screen time in Boruto's second part. But that's just one of three very distinct possibilities that could explain how Boruto ended with a couple of rivets and a couple of croaks in his cloak. So we've already gone over the three possibilities that could explain how Boruto would end up with the Toads. Either he came into contact with Kashin Koji during the time skip, or he went to Mount Muabuko, or Kashin Koji and Mount Muabuko are intertwined. Now, while the last option might seem as though it's the most obvious if you don't watch a lot of my videos, I'm actually going to say it's probably the least likely. And that's the least likely reason it's going to be the first one that we cover. See, it seems like relatively common knowledge that if Kashin Koji is a Toad Sage, nonetheless a perfect Toad Sage, and is able to summon Toads, then he must have ties to Mount Muabuko. That just makes sense. Everything we know about becoming a Toad Sage or finding Toads comes from Mount Muabuko. Not until you hang out with Mon, Pod, get covered in toad oil, and get whacked by a snake, and learn how to pull in Senjutsu chakra while sitting on a giant spike, do you get to become a Toad Sage. At least, that's usually the situation. But we don't know for sure that that's the only way that one can become a Toad Sage. In fact, there's evidence in Boruto that you have to go to the stage area of a certain area to become that kind of sage. You know, that's no other iteration of Mito is ever able to do. Now, other instances, physically impossible in the universe of origin, from each of the Great White Snake Sage, and the Great White Snake Sage is playing the following day while he was unconscious, so off screen, we interrupted his travel to reach which implies to us that he had to go to reach for the Great White Snake Sage to become the perfect Snake Sage, which means that he technically stands as evidence that you may not need to go to a sage area to become a sage, so long as you are a clone of somebody. Now, the way that Sakura Mikoto works is that she is able to use it on himself to make himself small. Naruto and Sasuke really small and then stomp them into the ground like grapes. So how exactly was Jigen able to use his no jutsu on a toad, which is very much alive? Well, the easy answer is that it's not. See, it kind of stands to reason that if Amino was going to make a perfect toad stage, he would probably also make some toads. Because what's a perfect toad seed without toads, and it wasn't like Kashikoji was going to go to Mount Mobuko to make some contracts. This is doubly corroborated by the fact that Amino was using one of Kashikoji's toads to transmit a video image from the battle where Kashikoji was battling against Jigen to Konoha, something that no toad from Mount Mobuko could do. And on top of this, we've seen Kashikoji be able to summon toads to the Kara hideout, which exists in a different dimension from Earth. And we know for a fact that Mount Mobuko exists on Earth and therefore exists in Earth dimension. And while Sasuke was able to summon Garuda to the lava dimension in the battle against Kaguya, thus proving that animal summons are able to travel between dimensions, that was only one time, and it might have been a plot hole. Because if animal summonings are able to travel between dimensions, that means that people can be reverse summoned between dimensions, which pretty much destroys all space-time ninjutsu's deadliness. So if we do look at Sasuke summoning Garuda to the lava dimension as a plot hole, that would imply that in order for Kashinkoji to summon toads to the Kara dimension, that those toads would have had to be in the Kara dimension already. And if Amino was the one who created them, which he probably was, then they would be.
But why are you so opposed to the idea of Kashinkoji having any connections to Mount Mobuko?
It's not that I am opposed to it, it's just that it's kind of unrealistic. You don't think Ma and Pa would have reached out to Naruto the second that a white-haired guy with the exact same chakra signature as Jiraiya happened to waltz in? There's also the fact that not a singular one of Kashinkoji's toads ever talks or identifies itself with a name. And if we know anything about the toads from Mount Mobuko, it's that they're rather talkative. So it makes the most sense to me that Kashinkoji has no affiliation to Mount Mobuko, which is why I believe that the third option, that Boruto went to Mount Mobuko and Kashinkoji was there cooling his heels in one of the toad oil pools, is the least likely, and why I believe that options 1 or 2 are substantially more likely. So let's talk about option 2 first, because we started at 3. We'll just work our way backwards. Option 2, which is that Boruto and Sasuke went to Mount Mobuko, actually makes a fair amount of sense. And it's a theory that I've had for a long time and have been very vocal about. See, here's the thing. Boruto and Sasuke escaping the grasp of Kawaki and Code for 3 years was kind of unrealistic. Ignore Code, even though apparently he did appear to be the issue over the course of those 3 years. Kawaki is Ada, who has the Senrigan, which means that Ada is able to see and hear everything that happens on Earth always. Well, not always, but starting from when she was born. Which means that if hypothetically Kawaki wanted to find the location of Boruto and Sasuke, he could simply just ask Ada, and then she could just activate her Senrigan and be like, oh yeah, there they are. That was easy. The idea of Boruto and Sasuke being on the run was kind of ridiculous to me. I mean, how do you see from somebody who's able to see everything and everywhere always? Well, there was a couple of theories, too, to be exact. One is that you travel back in time, prior to when Ada was born. And since, rather oddly, the stipulation that her Senrigan ability started when she was born, and we know that Masashi Kishimoto does nothing on accident, it made sense to come to the conclusion that Ada's abilities cut off at the moment of her birth, because at some point or another, we were going to go back prior to Ada's birth. The other possibility is that Boruto and Sasuke were going to go to a sage area, like Mount Mobuko, or Ryuchi Cave, though Mount Mobuko would be the substantially safer of the two, as Ryuchi Cave is much easier to find than Mount Mobuko. And I've been pretty vocal about the fact that I believe that the toads of Mount Mobuko will be involved in Boruto's life, even after Ada's brainwashing, because at Mount Mobuko, they have a thing known as the Memory Stone. See, the Memory Stone was introduced in a filler episode in the later half of Naruto Shippuden, where Hagoromo and Hamura are directed to it by the Great Toad Sage. See, the Memory Stone in Mount Mobuko tells the true history of the world. Basically, everything that happens on Earth is inscribed upon the Memory Stone. The reason that the Memory Stone is important in this filler episode is because Kaguya has used Infinite Tsukiyomi on the Earth prior to make everybody hail her as the Rabbit. They were able to deduce that Kaguya was not a benevolent ruler, and the Great Toad Sage was conveying that knowledge to Hagoromo and Hamura, which is why Hagoromo and Hamura, at least according to this filler episode, went on to battle against Kaguya. And since I subscribe to the theory that if anime filler doesn't contradict the manga, that we should take that information, I believe that the Memory Stone would serve an incredibly vital role in Boruto's future, as regardless of whether or not Ada brainwashes the entire Earth, the Memory Stone would tell the true history of the Earth, and thus the Toads of Mount Mobuko would still be on Boruto's side, and in actuality, they would probably be compelled to help Naruto's son. And it's because of this compulsion that Boruto and Sasuke would be reverse summoned to Mount Mobuko. You see, because there's only two ways to get to Mount Mobuko, that is to either be reverse summoned or to take a secret path. And it's because of the existence of this secret path that we know that Mount Mobuko exists on Earth. However, regardless of how secret the path is, it won't be a secret anymore if Ada watches you take it. So the secret path wasn't an option. However, assuming that the Toads were able to read the Memory Stone and had a compulsion to try and save Boruto, they could send Toads out into the world to find Boruto and to make a contract with him so he can be reverse summoned back to Mount Mobuko. Easy as that. And if, and only if Boruto was able to be reverse summoned to Mount Mobuko, technically, he would be safe there. Because, remember, like I literally just said, there's only two ways to get there. To be summoned or to follow a secret path. Sure, while Ada Senrigan is able to see everything that's happened during the course of her lifetime, that doesn't necessarily tell her where to look. So maybe there's a possibility that Naruto took the secret path to Mount Mobuko during the course of Ada's lifetime, but she wouldn't know where to look. And it's not like she's going to comb through the last 16 years of Naruto's life to find an entrance to a path. So since the location of the secret path would be hidden and Kawaki and Ada and Daemon have no ability to be reverse summoned to Mount Mobuko, that would mean that Boruto would kind of be safe there from both Ada, Daemon, and Kawaki, and also Code. Now technically, running away from Ada Senrigan didn't appear to be the biggest issue for Boruto and Sasuke over the course of those 3 years, because we are now 3 chapters into Two Blue Vortex, and Ada and Kawaki haven't talked yet, and pretty much the only meaningful screen time that Ada has gotten thus far was Ada telling Sarada that she would undo Kawaki's wish if Sarada wanted, meaning that the chances that she's working collaboratively with Kawaki are pretty low. But on top of this, it's also pretty safe to assume that Boruto and possibly Sasuke didn't make it to Mount Mobuko until at least after a year into the time skip, because one of the things we've learned in the first 3 chapters of Two Blue Vortex is that 1 year into the time skip that Code and Boruto had a scuffle that lost Code and and that Boruto just ran away from. Now, if Boruto and Sasuke had made it to Mount Mobuko day 1 into the time skip, Code wouldn't have found them, which means that if Boruto and Sasuke did end up at Mount Mobuko, that it didn't happen until after they fought Code, which would actually make a fair amount of sense, because Code was chasing after Boruto for the entirety of the first year of their time skip. However, after their battle, Code couldn't find Boruto, and eventually Code got sick of looking for Boruto and decided to invade Konoha, and that's what the first 3 chapters of Two Blue Vortex have been about. So the possibility of Boruto going to Mount Mobuko, a place where Code wouldn't be able to find him after their first scuffle, is pretty high. There's also the fact that Boruto's Toads have the ability to talk. Though it's obviously not an impossibility that Toads made by Amado have the ability to talk. We've just never seen any of Amado's Toads talk. Now, it's not like they were holding complex conversations or even giving their names for that matter. They were simply reporting on the fact that Code had returned to his hideout and that they had seen the Ten Tails. However, outside of the fact that these Toads talked, they acted in a way that actually made them more seem as though they were created by Amado. As these 2 Toads weren't really combat Toads. They were 2 small reconnaissance Toads, with the ability to work as a kind of 2-way radio. See, Boruto could talk to one of the Toads, and that message would be conveyed to the other Toad that he placed on Code. And when that Toad that was placed on Code wanted to send a message to Boruto, it would just come out of the Toad that Boruto had. Now, unless...
So, I didn't think I needed Swiffer until I saw how easily it picked up my hair every time I dried it. It only takes a minute. Look at that. The heavy-duty cloths are extra thick for amazing traffic lock, even for his hair. Wow, you'll love Swiffer or your money back.
Unless I'm completely forgetting something that happened to Naruto, I don't remember any Toads from Mobuko operating in this capacity whatsoever. So what's the summation of this possibility? Boruto and Sasuke made a run for it at the beginning of the time skip, and for the first year of the time skip, they were trailed by Code. However, 1 year into the time skip, Code catches up with them, and thus Sasuke and Code have a scuffle that Boruto runs away from. Sasuke is either turned into a claw grime, dies, or just goes somewhere else over the course of this battle. Boruto is now all alone. The Toads upon realizing realizing that Boruto, Naruto's son, is out alone in a world that wants him dead, send out a Toad to go get him and bring him back to Mount Mobuko, where he spends the next 2 years training. And when you consider the fact that Boruto, when he explained how Rasengan Uzuhiko worked in the first place, said that he used the chakra of the planet, which is kind of just like a fancy restaurant way of saying senjutsu, to make the Rasengan Uzuhiko, there's a possibility that we can tie the Rasengan Uzuhiko back to senjutsu and to Mount Mobuko. And I think that is possible, but not as possible as the third option, or I guess the first option, which is that instead of the Toad saving Boruto, that it was Kashin Koji who saved Boruto. Now, somewhat aggravatingly, narratively, this option makes more sense, but logically, it makes less. See, unfortunately, the Memory Stone does come from a filler episode, so using the Memory Stone as a way to build out a theory isn't exactly the most sturdy way. While I do think that there's a distinct possibility that the Toads of Mount Mobuko weren't affected by Ada's brainwashing, assuming that they have the Memory Stone, kind of a stretch. See, Kashin Koji was very clearly and purposely kept in the story. After Kashin Koji was grievously injured in his battle against Ishiki, he teleported away after climbing into the mouth of a toad. And considering the fact that up until that point, Kashin Koji had really just been a side character, keeping him alive implies that he had a role down the line. And you would hope that Kashin Koji, the literal clone of Jiraiya, would have a role down the line. Because you don't bring Jiraiya back into the story through the medium of a clone and not have him meet Naruto, or at least Boruto for that matter. And if Kashin Koji were to come into Boruto's life during the time skip, well, narratively, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, what did Naruto do? For part 1 of his story, he was trained by a guy with 1 Sharingan, and then during the time skip, he went off to go train with a Toad Sage in the form of Jiraiya. Now, Boruto in part 1 of his story was trained by a guy who ended up with 1 Sharingan, and then during the time skip, according to this theory, would train with the Toad Sage, but through the medium of Kashin Koji. Both narratively and from a plot perspective, Boruto ending up with Kashin Koji just makes sense. Until you start asking the question, why? See, of course I can sit here and say Kashin Koji's in the story, he has to end up with Boruto because that's what Naruto did. And maybe your average YouTuber would end the video there. But we can't just say, I want the story to be like this, and therefore it's gonna be like this. We have to ask the incredibly logical question, why would Kashin Koji team up with Boruto? Well, in order to understand that, we probably have to try a bit harder to understand Kashin Koji. So Kashin Koji is a clone of Jiraiya, and a cyborg, like Ada, Daemon, and Code. And so for as long as Kashin Koji existed, he believed that his sole purpose was to kill Ishiki. He and Amino were spies within Kara, and Kashin Koji's entire purpose in life was to destroy Kara by destroying Ishiki. However, it wasn't until Kashin Koji found himself face to face with Ishiki that he realized that wasn't his purpose. See, Kashin Koji's purpose was to kill Jigen, but his purpose ended there. Because Kashin Koji was also supposed to die in his battle against Ishiki. And it wasn't until he realized this that he realized that his entire life he had been a tool for Amino. See, Amino, who he trusted more than anybody else on Earth, as Amino trusted him with the incredibly arduous task of taking Ishiki out, threw him away like a toy he didn't want anymore. And it was at that moment of realization, as Kashin Koji was teleporting away from the battle against Ishiki, that he realized his entire life was a lie. But that moment, what does Kashin Koji do? What becomes his objective in life? Is Amino now enemy number 1? Does he now want to wipe out Kara by himself? Does he want to kill Code? Does he want to destroy Konoha? Well, I can't really say I know. However, I feel in that moment of total loss of self and identity that Kashin Koji accidentally unlocked some of Jiraiya's latent memories. Fond memories of spending long days with a blonde boy training to get stronger. And it's at that moment that Kashin Koji feels a compulsion to find this blonde boy. Now, Kashin Koji would obviously need time to recuperate after his battle against Ishiki. I believe there's actually a lot more to that battle that happened 1 year into the time skip than we've previously stated up to this point. See, for a long time, and that time was about 3 months before this battle happened, between Sasuke, Code, and Boruto, there was another possibility. So to the same capacity that Sasuke had secured the Blue Vortex yet, but maybe there is Kashin Koji, who is most likely the person who took out Code's eye.
Don't mess with my neighborhood.
Kashin Koji wanted to find his mark point prior to Code. However, unfortunately, narratively, that really works. Like, it's going to end up coming out and say that Sasuke is no longer found in the show. Absolutely. Even Kashin Koji was not for keeping Kashin Koji alive so he can fight an off-screen battle against Code. Just doesn't seem like they're finding an actuality. The most likely thing that could happen from a plot and narrative perspective is that Sasuke is the person who time skip. Boruto was with Kashin Koji. You consider the fact that Kashin Koji was strong enough to take on a 10% Jigen and battle against Ishiki for a fair amount of time, and is a perfect Toad Sage, and therefore could teach Boruto all about how to use the chakra of the planet. I think this is probably the most likely outcome, and I think this theory will most likely be proven in Chapter 4, when Kashin Koji is shown to be the person who supplied Boruto with said toads. Now, as for why Kashin Koji wants to kill Code, well, Code is the last living vestige of Ishiki, and killing Ishiki was Kashin Koji's prime directive for his entire life. On top of this, Boruto came into Chapter 2 talking about the horrors of the Ten Tails, right? And a lot of people ask the very logical question, what does Boruto know about the horrors of the Ten Tails? Did he go back in time to see the horrors of the Ten Tails for himself in the Fourth Great Shinobi World War to avoid a Senryugan? Or did Sasuke tell him all about the horrors of the Fourth Great Shinobi World War? Well, the possibility of Boruto training with Kashin Koji during the time skip introduced a very clear and obvious third option to how Boruto learned about the Ten Tails. And that's that Kashin Koji, who lived in Kara Hideout with the juvenile Ten Tails, told them all about it. So yeah, from a plot, narrative, and logical perspective, Naruto training for the last 2 years of the time skip of Kashin Koji just makes sense to me. And that only leaves us with one last question to ask. Did Kashin Koji train Boruto? Sage mode. Well, there's no evidence to point in either direction outside of the fact that the Rasengan Ushiko used the chakra of the planet. I believe that if we're bringing Kashin Koji into the story to draw a parallel between Naruto and Boruto's journey, then keep drawing parallels. One could absolutely argue that Boruto doesn't need Toad Sage mode. That would be like putting a hat on a hat, because there's already enough parallels between Boruto and Naruto. Naruto had Kurama, Boruto has Momoshiki, Naruto had KCM 1 and 2, Boruto has Karma mode, Naruto got Sage of 6 Pass Chakra, Boruto has the Jogan, but I genuinely wouldn't be surprised that if in the 2 years that Boruto spent with Kashin Koji, he figured out at least a little bit of Toad Sage mode. But what do you guys think? How do you think Boruto ended up with 2 toads in his jacket? Tell me in the comments below. And while you guys are down there, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page. Hit that notification. I'm sorry, like, I get that Code was going through the worst case of spins anybody has ever had, but how to feel a toad in your pocket?
Without exhibit, there is no drama. Without drama.
Hello, Matt. Promise. Here. This belongs to my stomach. The original funky drummer. Do you know how often this rhythm sample? It was so influential. A direct line from hip-hop. Thank you.
Don't worry. Watch the record go nice.
Harry's calling. I have to speak. Catch up later? Oh. Sure, man. Later. Hey, Pete. I'm at BMS. No sign of Doc Connors yet. I just need to say hi. On my way. Have you heard anything from MJ? You said she's stopping by his house, right? Nothing yet. She told me to call him. Yeah. So he's just taking a sick day. Yeah. I'm gonna check her office. Come by when you can.
Alright, y'all. I'm gonna end it here for now. Like I said, I got some things I need to do, catching up, cleaning up, getting ready for tomorrow. Part 4 will be later. Y'all be safe, be cool. Drop a like. Ghostface hanging out.